Eastern Standard Time here in Central Florida and the Villages and Lady Lake to be exact. So I want to welcome everybody to Topic Tuesday today because we're going to go over...
You're not being shown.
Huh?
It's not on you.
Oh. So we're going to go over what's happening in the market today. Let's see. So first of all, I want to test my audio. Audio's good. So let's see here.
Got 7 people right now.
All right. I have 5.
Mine just updated like 6 now.
Okay. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Topic Tuesday. What's the market doing today? I always like to start with the Villages market because, to me, whatever happens in the market, really kind of in my 25 years experience, have realized that whatever happens in the real estate markets happens first in the Villages. So we're going to go ahead and concentrate on what's going on with the market here in the Villages. Now that could be transferred to the other communities, the other 55 plus communities like on Top of the World, Del Webb, Stone Creek, Del Webb, Spruce Creek, Stonecrest, the Plantation, all the others, and Crestwind, which is our latest and greatest, and which is what we're going to go see on Monday night. So any of you who are on this broadcast today, you'll want to really try to tune in Monday night. That's, let me write that down, Crestwind at Hammock Oaks. And you can do yourself a favor and go to Crestwind Hammock Oaks. I really would like to remind everybody, though, to please don't apply for an information packet. Don't really call for any information, because what they're going to do is they're going to collect your information at that point, and might possibly preclude me from helping you within that community. And Kristen Pryor, who is our preferred agent over there. I think there's only 2, but Kristen, you know, we would like, because I've worked with Kristen for years. She's used to work at on Top of the World. So I like to keep that little relationship, professional relationship going with her. So anyways, let's go ahead. So Chris, audio good, thanks, because I've got it kind of hidden up here under my shirt. I don't really like it sticking out here, so thank you for letting me know. All right, Sunny's in the house for another great episode. What is the price range of Crestwind, taxes, HOA, bond, etc.? So last week we did, last week on Topic Tuesday?
We did Crestwind, yeah.
Okay. Kristen came in for that. Okay. So, please do me a favor. Chris, go back to, because I can't remember, go back to last Tuesday's.
Yeah, fix where your mic is. It kind of is cutting out.
It's cutting out. How could it cut out? All right, well, Kate is asking. All right, so, all right, y'all, help me out. Can you hear my microphone? I don't know why it would be cutting out. Is it up there?
I think it's the fabric rubbing against it. That's the problem.
Okay, well, so I'm looking at my screen, and up there, everything looks fine. Kate, let me know what you think. I will go ahead and I'll tell you what I'll do right now anyway. I will see how that works. So is that better, Kate? Thank you for letting me know, by the way, because I was just trying this out.
Much better.
Okay. Alrighty. So going forward, but Chris, if you will check out last week's, I think she talked about what the HOA was, what the bond was. I didn't know there was a bond, so I was a little surprised about that, but it's low. I think it's like 8,000, I think she said, compared to 50,000 in the villages. So there you go. All right, there you go. So how's that, everybody? Much better. Okay, you got to try things differently. All right, Crestwind and Hammock Oaks, like I said, you can get all that information, and we will go ahead and give you all that information about taxes, HOA, bond, etc. Taxes is probably going to be a little bit of an unknown right now since it's brand new. Not really sure. I believe they are in the city of Lady Lake. We'll have to find that out too. I'm gonna make a note of that. Because that would make a difference on your taxes, because you'll pay Lady Lake taxes. Instead of just Lake County taxes. So we'll figure all that out for you. Especially Monday night, I made myself a note, so we'll hit on that topic. All right, market. What is the market doing? So kind of a big unknown, maybe not. Let's dive right in. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, let me do this, get myself up there. All right, so this is my MLS and my multiple listing service, and the villages is right here, kind of my default city, because it's better if I put city than subdivision name. Really, the Villages is no longer a subdivision. It is a city. It's in 3 counties. It's in Lady Lake, Fruitland Park, Wildwood, and Leesburg. It's in 4 cities. It encompasses 4 cities and 3 counties. So I'm just kind of wondering how many homes. One way that we could possibly find out is, you can't even really do that because you'd have to go through. One day, I'll get energetic and I will go through all 3 counties and put in the villages and kind of see if I can figure out how many homes are actually in the villages. I know it's in excess of 150,000. But back here, what is the market doing? So when I go to these different, over here, when I'm looking at the status or date or range, we can go active, pending, temporarily off the market, cancel, withdrawn, sold. So active there's nothing in there. It just tells you. And I put over here 300 to 800. I'm going to take that out right now. So last night there were 673 listings. Today there's 676, so we went up 3. Did we go pending on any of them today in one day? Whoops. 5 homes just today went under contract. That's what pending means. Sold. Did anything sell today? 4 closed so far. And that's what people have already, real estate agents have already gone into the MLS and marked it as sold. So we're going to go to solds, and we're going to go to what's the default of 180 days. What has the market been doing for 180 days? And in the villages, 844 homes, if you look down at the bottom over here, 844 matches sold in 180 days, in 6 months. So the market, is still doing okay. I'm wondering if we went back, say, 600 days to, let's see, 600 to, let's see. So we'll go back 2 years and see what 2 years to, let's say, 360. So that's what sold. In the year, well, in 1 year, well, actually, let's see. Let me just kind of figure this out for a second. So if we're looking at 6 months, right, 180 days. So let me see my phone there for a second. This way we can, I think we can calculate it this way. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really tried, but let's see. So let's see if we can go to 540. So I want to get that out of there to go 6 months. Will that work? All right, so 850 homes sold. So if I went 2 years ago, which is 720 days ago, and then what happened within that 720 days? Let me try to switch this around. See if that makes a difference. No, it really doesn't. So from 540 days and 100 days is 720, 851 homes sold a year and a half to 2 years ago, right? But today, 0 to 180 is 844. So the market really hasn't changed that much. Now this is just for the MLS, right? So the villages have had, obviously, their own sales of their own resale product, as well as their new home product. So what I'm seeing is that really things haven't really changed all that much from 2 years ago. So this is a really good indicator of what the market is doing. Pending, we'll go back to 540 to 720. Maybe that didn't work. How about 720, 540? So for my pending, that's not really working for me. But here's what we can do. We could use the calendar. And let's go to, we're going the wrong way. All right, we're going to go, well, I know we can do this too. So today is April, what, 8th? All right, so April 8th to April, May, June, July, August, September, October to October of 2022, 8th. Okay. Still doesn't like that either. Interesting. Very interesting. Have to call the MLS and find out why, because that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because it should tell us. Anyways, we have solds, which is good. And 844 homes sold within the last 6 months. And I just want to test this for us. And let's see, we'll go back 2023, April 8th. And then we'll go back to October 8th in 2023. All right, 743 matches, right? From now. Here's what I'm not doing now that I kind of think about it. If we're going back 180 days, we're going from October to October of 24 to today, right? That gives us our 6 months. And so we probably would want to do the same thing. We would want to go from, so let's clear that. Come on, there we go. All right, so we'll go from today, and we'll go back, let's see. So if we go 2 years ago, April 8th, and go back 6 months to October 8th, that gives us 568 matches. From October 22nd all the way through of 2022 to April of 2023, 568 homes closed. So, that's actually less, which is a little surprising to me. Anyways, let's kind of go, oh, interesting. Now we can go to results. We can kind of just take a look at probably average days on market. Let's see, because we can go over here and we can see average days on market right here. Average days on market. So I think now, I'm thinking now 2022 is probably right as we were getting out of the pandemic. 2023, things started kind of, all the people that were on the fence, all the people trying to get out of wherever they were getting out of, whatever state they're wanting to get out of, then they were doing so in 2022, not 2023, like what we were looking at. But that's okay. We're kind of looking at, market updates and seeing what's going on, and I'm just not seeing really a whole lot of difference between between today's market and what it was in 2023 into 2024, which was a year ago of what we're looking at here. So 0 to 180 going back there, 844 matches, homes sold, and then now we can go ahead and while I'm thinking about it, if there's anybody out there that would like this information, or what we can do, what is called setting up an auto email for anybody out there. Let me do that real quick. So what I would do is active. What I do is I go active and pending, and I only go pending one day. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. If you call me, say, hey, I'm looking for a home. I want a courtyard villa, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I want either concrete or block and stucco, and I want a 2-car garage. All right, let's kind of, so let me kind of go through that with you. So I can do this for you. I can say, okay, you want a villa, you want 3 bedrooms, 2-bath, and you are wanting also exterior block. Now they're making it out of preformed concrete these days too. So I'm going to add concrete and I'm going to add stucco. So any of your courtyard villas that are either block and stucco, preformed concrete and stucco, this is what we come up with. So there's 32 matches right now in an active state that's active, that's for sale. And now what I can do is all of these homes right here, there's 32 of them like we just talked about. There's one pending, right? Only one pending, but so there's actually 31 homes. The reason I put pending in there, because if I was to say, click here and send all these to you, this meets your criteria, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, doesn't have a price range in there. We could definitely put a price range because they go all the way up to $657,000. Excuse me. And it doesn't have area. And how do we kind of factor in the area? By date built. See, year built. So if you're telling me I want to be between the 6s. A lot of people tell me I want to be between the 6s, between 466 and 466A. In my mind, I know the villages started when I was working for them. We started in 2004, building south of 466, all the way to 2012. The villages were building all the way in succession in that time period. So if you tell me, hey, I just want to be between the 6s, I would say, oh, okay, well, let me go back to here and let me put in year built 2004 and 2012. All right. And I want to eliminate not Marion, because there were some homes that were built in 2004 in Marion County. All right, so I can go, let's look at the map, right? And I'm sorry I'm deviating a little bit from this, but there's your 04 home, and then it kind of just goes all the way through, and then this right here is your 466A, right? So this right here shows you're between 466 and 466A. You're between the 6s. So if you want me to save that for you and do a new auto email, I can go ahead and I can get your information and I can send you all these listings. And anytime a brand new listing comes on the market, you'll be notified. So this is a great way. And let me just kind of go back and say, I can do a search for you. I can give you like only granite or quartz. I think they call that stone counters. So if you only want a home that has LVP, right? Let's kind of go back and I can do, a further search for you. So I can go back here to criteria, and I can go to flooring, all right? So here's flooring. If you're telling me, look, I only want tile, or I only want LVP, luxury vinyl, right? I can click that, and you'll get your LVP homes in there. We can narrow this down. So if you have a search set up for Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com or whatever, I can definitely get you narrow your search to as pinpoint as you want. So just reach out to us and let us know, hey, I want to be set up on that auto email thing that y'all have going on. The beautiful thing too about this is anytime one of those homes that I sent you goes pending, you'll be notified. This home went pending, it went under contract, it's no longer available. It might be asking for backup offers, but that's why I add pending to the whole scheme of things over here, because this way I want you to be notified. And also it helps you, this is part of my marketing update, is this will allow you to see how fast homes are selling too, right? If you're seeing all the pending homes and then you're seeing all the new listings coming on and you're seeing these listings go pending, you yourself can gauge on what the market's doing and how well or how poorly it's doing. So that's why I kind of deviated into this a little bit, because if you want us, again, to set you up on something like this so you can keep track of the market, so you can keep track of the inventory that we have, and you're giving us the specifics of what you're interested in, we can help you out. So let us know if this is a service that we can do for you. All right? But anyways, let's go back and start all over. I do a quick search. My quick search defaults to the villages, and now we are at 676 matches. This is how many active listings that we have on the market right now. But for what we're looking for today, solds. We're looking, because we want to, this is the market update, live stream and video. So if this is something that you're interested in, then this is what we're doing for you. So out of, well, let me get rid of the active. So 844 matches sold between October 8th, 2024 and April 8th, 2025, 6 months, 844 homes sold in that period of time. And so this gives me, up here, if you look up here, 844, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to say, well, give these to us 100 at a time. So we still have down here that all these homes that we can go through. So no matter what you're interested in, these are all manufactured homes. If I slide over here, see where it says property style? My MLS has a wealth of information that you'll never see in the VLS. VLS does not give you any of this information. They don't tell you what a home sold for. As soon as a home closes in the VLS, it's gone. You'll never know really what it's sold for. Here, we see, right? We see what the current price is, and we could also see what it's sold for. So let me just kind of give you that example. So this first one, 730 Royal Palm Avenue, listed for 110. We can see that it's sold for, listed for 144.9. Single wide, sold for 110. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do here. Back to our criteria and our results. Okay. Now, here's what else we can find. What I wanted to do, I went ahead early on in the very beginning. I said price range 300 to 800. I wanted to try to narrow it down. Went from 844 to 617. Really didn't do a whole lot. Let's say 3-bedroom, 2-bath, because I still want to I want to narrow it down to what most homes sell here in the villages. And so most homes are between 300 and 800. I guess average price now is 500. And mostly 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So we're down to 461 matches. Now this is, I'm just wanting to do this just for information's sake. So let's slide over here. This is the interesting part. This tells you the square footage of the home. This tells you what the price that it's sold for, the current price. Now, this tells you it's a single family home. Tells you if it's sold for cash or conventional financing. I'm seeing, look at here, I'm seeing a lot more conventional financing, which to me is good news, because I would say for the last year anyways, let's start with the last 2 years actually, I think a lot of people have been sitting on the fence because they weren't getting a mortgage. And I would go through here and I would see cash, 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 conventional, FHA, cash, 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 VA, cash, 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 conventional, cash. Most of the sales were cash. Look at all these homes now that we're seeing are getting a conventional mortgage. That's cool. Here's a lot of cash, VA. We're kind of thinning it out now as we get up there in price. Again, part of what we're doing here today is trying to figure out what the market is doing. Now we're starting to get with more cash and a few conventional. So here this is what I was telling you about earlier. Cash, 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 conventional, conventional. So a lot more as we get up there in price. Now we've already gone through 100. Let's go through the next 100. Okay, so where are we going to start? We're going to start at $356,000. So we're seeing a lot more conventional now in the next 100. So almost, there's a lot more conventional, which is interesting. And you kind of ask yourself, why? Why is that? So here's another feature that's really, so we're at 390,000 now. If you look all the way to the very end of my screen, the bottom one says 390,000 is 1,715 square feet living area. So it shows you what taxes are, but also days on market. And this is extremely important in looking to see what the market is doing as well. Days on market, cumulative days on market. What's the difference between CDOM and ADOM? Well, cumulative days on the market is if there's been more than one agent, because we typically list a home for 6 months, right? If you see there's a difference, then chances are that they've switched real estate agents, and now after 180 days, they switch to another one, you're going to see a discrepancy going on here for the most part. So it looks like maybe for instance, this one right here, well, you have 48 and 59. I honestly don't think that only one agent had it on the market for 48 days and then another agent for 59. I'm not real sure about that discrepancy. I'm sorry, days to close. I got to go back over here. Okay, I got that a little bit confused. DTC is days to close. So this one looks like they closed in 10 days. This one closed around 30. 30 is typical. All right, so as we go through here, we can kind of see how many cumulative days on the market and actual days on the market. So, like I said, when you see a little bit of a discrepancy, this is usually when they've changed the realtors. Again, going to cash, 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 and then here's one, seller financing. That's pretty cool. Like that. And also, I think I had one person that had an assumable mortgage. That might be something that we might want to look into a little bit further, is seeing if you can assume the seller's mortgage. And why would you want to do that? Because quite possibly that interest rate might be lower, and so maybe you can assume that mortgage and then pay that seller some extra money and see if a bank will allow us to assume. I don't think there's enough of that, to be honest with you. I don't think enough people know to ask, hey, can I assume this mortgage? But so if you're in the market and you want to see if we can assume somebody's mortgage, I think there needs to be a little bit more of that. All right, so let me go over here to my chat room. Usually when I'm talking and I'm doing, these learning live streams, don't get much in the way. So yeah, Glenn, she did say it was around 8,000 or 9,000, I believe. If you kind of, when I asked if there was a bond in that last live stream, last Tuesday, I heard her say it's around, I thought she said it was 8 or 9, maybe it was 7 or 8. It's somewhere around there. Okay. Trish, thanks for joining us then. And Glenn, thank you for jumping in there as well. Bill Rizzo, hello. Is CDOM days on the market? Those numbers for Courtyard Villas look pretty high. So, so you're looking at, so that's a good pick. Now, where it says villa, now these are going to be your courtyard. Well, we said 3-bedroom, 2 baths, so they're all pretty much. I think there's some brand new patio villas now way down south that I think you can get at 3 bedrooms for the most part. Patio villas are only 2-bedroom homes. But here's a bunch of cash, but this is what we want to really concentrate on to really see what the market is doing, is cumulative days on the market. Let's go, now early on last year, I wasn't seeing any single digits, very rarely. So 3 years ago in 2022, very rarely would you see a double digit. You never saw a triple digit days on the market 3 years ago. 2 years ago, and then like last year, you saw a lot of double digits. But here, starting to see some single digits again and some low double digits, 15 days and 14 days, 19, 23. Those are pretty good days on market, okay? And that's what we're looking for, is what's going on. So I like to I like to scroll through pretty quick. You know why? Because when I scroll through those quickly, it seems to me like it kind of catches my eye a little bit better of how many days. Like if you're doing this, you know, you're kind of blurring out a lot of the double digits, and if you're just looking for single digits. But as we get more expensive, it looks like homes are more on the days on market up here. And it looks like you're seeing more triple digits too, right? As we're getting more expensive. Let's go up here. So I told you average price is about 500, and I think that's about right. I think, you know, it's kind of been ticking up, average price on the market. So back to cumulative days on the market, active days on the market. So we're seeing more double digits. And that's another thing why I kind of scroll kind of quickly to see, you know, the triple digits versus the double digits, and kind of stands out a little bit better. So now we're up to, where are we up to? Let's see, we're up to $568,000 for that home. That was on the market 54 days. If you ask me about what's average, you can kind of see it's all over the place, right? So that's why I wanted to do this video, because so many people say, hey, what's average days on the market? Well, you can see for yourself, it's kind of all over the place. And a lot of these homes, like maybe 213,000, let's take a look at that just real quick. Why at 519? Let's see. This one on O'Brien. All right. Looks like this is a gardenia, 2,136 days, 2,136 square feet, 213 days on the market. And why was it on the market that long? You know, we'll kind of flip through. Looks nice, landscaping's nice, painted driveway, painted walkways. Looks like a really nice home, but I can tell you it's probably, it was overpriced. So let's take a look. So I can tell you it was originally listed at $629. It sold over $100,000 less than what the original days on market was. So there's your CDOM, ADOM, and then I can tell a lot. I can see that this one went from 629 to 5. This was like the previous. It might have gone through more reductions than what we see here. But ultimately closed on December 20th. So I have a wealth of information here on these homes. Let me go back here. So that's interesting, right? Over $100,000. It was way overpriced. Here's the thing, and I tell a lot of my sellers, we cannot follow the market down. We have to get in front of the market. So if I say market price is $529, really we should be $519, if not $499. We need to get, if we know the market is trending down, we have to get in front of that market to get that home sold. So that's what we're looking at. Let's go back over here. So we're still looking, again, all this is part of what the market is doing. Last year, we saw mostly cash. Not a lot of people were getting a conventional Loan up here is, we looked at this last night, 30-year mortgage rates. Now, it was at 7.125 with points. So points you're paying down to get a lower rate, right? Now, I don't know. I'm thinking if you pay $6,187 up front, then you can get this down with 2.25 points. Get this almost into the fives, right? And then you can buy your rate down at these prices that you see. So ask your lender, if you're in the market and you're going to do a conventional loan, you want to say, hey, how low can I get my mortgage rate and how much am I going to have to pay in points to get this down? Now, I'm not a lender. I'm assuming, and you know what they say about assuming, that 7.125 is the going rate. This is not including the 2.25 points that someone paid down, okay? That would mean that your rate was at 9 something. Rates have not gone that high. So this is just kind of giving you an idea. If you wanted to buy that rate down, and it's at, let's see, 7.125 minus 2.25, you can get that rate down to 4.875 by paying $6,187. This is why you're seeing a lot of conventional loans. People are paying that. And what I've been preaching now for a year is, hey, if you're in the market to buy a home and you need to get a mortgage, we can go to the seller and we can say, hey, Mr. Seller, we want you to give us seller concessions. What are your seller concessions in the way of points, buying my mortgage rate down? I'll buy your home for, you're asking $575, I'll buy your home for $560, but I also want you to pay seller concessions, pay the $6,187 so I can get my mortgage rate down. So we can get creative like that all day long. That's what you want to do. So that's what you need to, you need to have an experienced realtor, broker like me, who knows this stuff and who can help you get a great deal on a mortgage, right? And get the seller to pay points. So that's what the whole idea is with this this little seminar we're having here today, okay? When I was looking, I saw some with seller financing. So seller financing is kind of along the lines of the seller paying points as well. So, hey, Renee, let's see. So Elizabeth joined us, very good. Tax rates seem to be all over the place. Yeah, as you can see, there's your taxes. These taxes would be in a direct line with the year of the home, year built, versus because of the bond and the maintenance fee and all that, that's included in taxes. So, yeah, as you can see, the older it is, the more it goes down in your taxes. So that's a good testament to why you may even want to think about buying a home that needs a little bit of work done to it, right? In an area where your bond's lower, maintenance fees are lower, taxes are lower. So if that's a concern of yours, that could be a good option. Buy a home that needs some fixing up. We'll get it fixed up for you. Come out with lower taxes. Maybe no bond. So if you see here, this is a $7,000 in taxes. This is a 2022 home. So there's a direct correlation in how old the home is to kind of what your taxes are. Here's a 1999 one for $1,800 in taxes. I know. Thank you. All right, so that is your market update for today. Like I said, a wealth of information over here that we have. We'll probably do it again. I always like to go back and compare, right? So with our sold properties, we went from, what was it, 540 to 720 days, 492. So way back when, right, almost 2 years ago, we could, let's go back over to here. All right. So, closed, we can do, oh, also sale price to listing price. That's important. 98%, as you can see. So people ask me, how much should I offer on a home? Well, there you go. Typically, now you can see the close dates were back in 2023. Back in 2023, look, 98, 97, 98, 100, 100%. You know, these homes were, you know, were selling close to asking price. Average days on market, you know, so, and then conventional, cash, conventional. So not much difference 2 years ago as to what it is today. So anyways, my little tip of the day is if you're going ahead and you are mortgaging, let's talk to the sellers, see if they want to make seller concessions with points to lower your mortgage rate down, get that home sold and get that home purchased for you. All right, guys, that's it. Let me see. What is the average contract to sell a home? I've seen some realtors at 3 months and 6. Average is 6 months. I don't do them any less than 6 months. I will not take a listing for less than 6 months because it takes, you know, it takes a while to get up and running. I mean, depends too. I mean, really somebody has to be receptive to the market and lowering their price. I can say, look, we can try it at market price, but just know in 30 days we need to take a look at it and see how many people we've got looking at the house, seeing if there's been any offers or whatever. There's a lot of things that go into listing a house and getting it sold. So that's not what this seminar was about, or live stream, but we can do one of those about sellers. All right, so so there you go. Bill said he got $20,000 off asking price on his home. All right, you guys, I gotta go. So I hope you all learned a lot. If you have any questions, give us a call, 352-204-9026. If you want me to do one of those auto emails for you, set you up to where you're receiving homes that fit your criteria, with a pending aspect to it, to where you can see homes as whatever I send you goes pending. Okay? So give us a call or text for that matter as well. All right? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us on Topic Tuesday. I hope you learned a lot. There was a lot involved, and we'll do it again. And listen, 352-204-9026. If you would like me to do any topics for something, let me know. I'm open. I would love to help you out and talk about what it is that you would like me to talk about and share with you with my experience here listing in and around the villages. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing you Monday night at Crestwind at Hammock Oak, and then again back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Cost of living in the villages
Huh?
is our topic for next Tuesday.
Cost of living in the villages. What does it cost to live in the villages? We're going to go over everything. We're going to go over amenity fee. We're going to go over what it costs at the fitness centers. We're going to talk about bonds and taxes and maintenance fees and all that stuff of what a cost of living is in the villages next Tuesday. Thank you, Christian. Thank you all for watching. And like I said, we'll see you Monday night or back here next Tuesday.